Welcome to the morning break. I'm Rob Patz. We're a little late because we had some technical difficulties. So if you tuned in and saw a train wreck, that was it. It was funny because I started talking and realizing that I wasn't on the air. Gotta love that kind of stuff. But wanted to tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you that have watched. And if you heard me, I'm going to repeat a little bit, but just bear with me. We are so thankful for each and every one of you who have watched. No, the numbers aren't great. No, I am not going viral yet. I believe we could. I believe we have some fun stuff. We have good people that watch. I want to thank the people that have reached out, whether it's via email. Some have sent me messages on YouTube, which I didn't know you could do. Yes, that's how kind of new I am to this whole thing. So appreciate each and every one of you. And then if you really want to see it again and you don't want to look through the lives, you can also see us on Rumble. I upload this to Rumble. What do you think about Rumble? Honestly, third day on this cup, by the way. If you tuned in yesterday, you got the joke because I grossed my wife out by doing that, by drinking out of the same cup. I figure it's me. I mean, who else is drinking out of this cup? It's just me. And yeah. So I drink out of it thanks to the great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee. 7 Weeks Coffee. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. And they are great company, great Christian company, and really do some neat stuff. And go to 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. It's great coffee. And I talked about this over the last couple of days. The thing I'm really liking now is being able to make my own ground coffee in my Keurig. And yes, I realized by one person who sent me a message that that's not new. It isn't. I know that. Um, but I want to. This one caveat to that is they were not that good before. I had one like right away when Keurig first came out, like within the first year. I had a Keurig. And the extra little pod thing that you got, it was terrible. In fact, I think mine broke like the third time I used it. I just bagged it, said, "No, I'm not gonna do that." So yes, I do know that they've been around a long time. I want to clarify my thoughts in case you thought I just thought it was something new. It's not. But the new one I got is so much nicer. So much as far as better made, and it makes coffee drinking amazing. It because I think and also and this is not something I know for a fact. So if you know in the comments, you can tell me. I think a Keurig makes the coffee hotter than you can get in a brewing coffee. Now maybe there are some coffee makers that you can crank up the heat number, and it could be. I just don't have that experience. I grew up on like Mr. Coffees and stuff like that. So I didn't have the super fancy ones. I do now have a really nice one. And there probably is a setting for that. But I am a man and a man doesn't read the instructions. So there could be a complete way to make your coffee hotter. I don't know, but I want to. It's just one of those things. But use the promo code ATV10 when you go to 7 Weeks Coffee and shop with them. Great company. They support some neat stuff. We've got some other sponsors, and we've actually got somebody that's interested in sponsoring what we're doing here. We'll talk about that. Hey, I've got another thing I want to talk about, and this is the first place I've talked about this. Okay, so if you love Facebook. We all do. I mean, truth of the matter is, if you're over 30 years old, you still love Facebook or Instagram or any of those kind of places. I mean, right? I mean, come on. I know the younger they've gone to TikTok and to uh, other things, Snapchat and stuff like that. But for us that are older, there's a great new service that I was just made aware of just recently, and we are partnering with them. It's called Axe Social. They are just in the pre-launch right now. Go to axsocial.com and sign up for a brand new account. They've got some amazing filters, some great things that you can learn, and you can join the Abundant TV group there. It's the Abundant group on Act Social. I'm on there. Kristen is on there, and we just have a great time. So go to actsocial.com. Use we don't have a promo code for that, do we? Huh. Well, yes, we do. Okay, never mind. I'm reading while we're doing this. Use when you sign up. Who recommended you? It's Abundant TV. Okay, so actsocial.com. I went there. You can download it. You can use it on your desktop, depending on how you like to do that kind of stuff. I have it on my desktop and on my phone. And so, whether you have an Android or a um, Apple iOS. So, hey, listen, I want to talk. There's a bunch of stuff I want to talk about today, and I know we got kind of a little bit of a late start today, and so I kind of want to get into a few things. And again, hey, it's technical stuff. I'm still learning. There's like, over there, like all that stuff is going to change. But right now, I'm just thankful I'm on the air. In which we saw this morning with two train wrecks in a row, that isn't in itself always easy. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about today before we have to get out of here because we've already spent a lot of time talking about nothing, which is kind of what the show. Okay, so really funny before we go any farther. So a friend of mine asked me, he said, "So what's the show about?" And I said, "Well, you remember when I used to do morning radio in Seattle?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "That was really about nothing." I said, "That's kind of what my show is about. Nothing. It is. It's nothing important. We're not going to do anything earth shattering here. Maybe, maybe not. You never know. Maybe something will like curveball you." But we're going to have fun, and it's your chance during your morning break to sit down. Maybe you're working, and this is your 20 to 30 minute break that you get in the morning. That you've already had probably for a lot of you 3-4 hours in, depending on what time of the day it is. Or if you're on the West Coast, hey, my friends, it's 7:30. It's time to get up. I used to live on the West Coast. But anyway, so that's kind of the design of our show, of morning break. So it's just going to kind of be me talking about things that I see and I go, "Hey, this is kind of interesting," or "Hey, we should talk about this." And one of the things I want to talk about today, and the reason being is because almost every I saw the article today, and I was going to remember. I don't know if it was the New York Times. I was going to remember who it was. By the way, it's time to shave. Try to do that every once in a while. But I saw this article and it said almost every major retailer will have some form of Christmas decorations up by Labor Day. Labor Day. I know Menards already does, because we were in Menards. You can save big money there. They're not a sponsor. And of course, Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby's kind of a thing. I think if you really look hard enough, year round, you can find Christmas stuff at Hobby Lobby. It's not out in the front, and it's not in those first few rows, but I'm sure it's there somewhere. But according to this article, and I believe it was New York Times, I can't remember now, and I should start writing this stuff down because if we're doing a show, we should give good quotes to whoever it is. Um, they said, according to the Retailers Association, that almost every major chain will have Christmas stuff up by Labor Day. Now, I want to. This is where it gets kind of interesting because in the article that I read didn't talk about this, but I wonder about places like Nordstrom's and Macy's and stuff like that. When do they kind of pull the trigger? Because I don't think, and I don't know for sure. So I'm going to look this year because I'll probably. No, I won't be. Never mind. I will not be in a mall on Labor Day. I will be on Mackinac Island. There will not be morning break for that first part of the week. We are celebrating, Kristen and I, our fourth anniversary which is kind of crazy to think it's been 4 years. Amazing, amazing thing. God's story. Sometime I'm going to have her on the morning break. We'll have her on, uh, probably from her office, and have her on the morning break, and we'll talk about um, us getting married. Both of us late in life. So if you're still single, know that God has somebody, and He did for us, for both of us. It's just been so neat, and I am so thankful. And I want to say that part, but so there won't be any morning breaks on those days. There will not be a morning break tomorrow. I already told you, because Thursdays I do a great show with my buddy Jason Webb. It's called Thrive. You can find it here on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. Later it'll be uploaded to Rumble if you're watching on Rumble. It's not live on Rumble. Um, kind of some stuff there we're working on. We'll get it there sometime. But anyway, so usually I can be found at some point on Labor Day weekend in a mall. I won't be this year. I'll be on Mackinac Island starting Friday night until Tuesday morning. Which, by the way, does it really seem like Labor Day is here already? I mean, like we're talking about Labor Day. It's a couple weeks away. Don't freak out. It's not like tomorrow or anything. In case you're going, what in the world? Um, but did this summer go by like super fast? Kids are a lot of kids back in school. If they're not, it's really soon. I know for a lot of our friends down in the South, school started this week. Um, for us here in the northern part of the country, I'm in Ohio. Next week is for most when school starts, and for some it's the week after. Now Michigan, just a little ways away from where I am right now, Michigan starts after Labor Day, which is what we used to do out in Washington. Tell me what you think. Are you one of those people that um you like school to start after Labor Day or before Labor Day? Because I'm curious. Because now, when I was a kid, lived in Minnesota, we started always before Labor Day. So Labor Day was kind of like that first break you got. You were at school for like a week and a half, and you got a 3-day holiday. It was awesome. Moved to Washington, and Washington was after Labor Day. So you dreaded Labor Day. Labor Day became like no fun, at least in my opinion. It was like no fun, um, because you knew it was over. You knew summer was over, and as a kid, summer hits a lot harder. And when summer's over, as a kid, it hits a lot harder, I think. But as an adult now, I'm like bummed. I'm like, summer's over. What happened? But only good thing I look at this. My wife actually said this super funny the other day. As an adult now, you don't look at long weekends and stuff. You look at your next vacation, your next trip. So we do that. We plan, and I talked about it. I think I talked about it, but you guys didn't see it. I talked about the fact that my wife and I travel not a lot, but some. And so we've got about 3 more trips planned for this year after our we call it'll be honeymoon 5. It's a joke. If you've never seen our television show, it started on there as a joke, and it's super fun because now churches that we go to will ask us where we're going for honeymoon, whatever it is. And this year, honeymoon 5, we're going back to Mackinac Island. Fell in love with Mackinac. Really have. I didn't think I was going to. I gotta be honest with you. I didn't think I would be quite that excited with a place, and lo and behold, I really do. I love Mackinac. I was watching a video last night, which is really funny. Watching a video on YouTube, and the guy goes, "It really smells here." It does for about the first 15 minutes. You kind of catch that, and I think when it's hotter, it has kind of a smell of horses. If you've never been to Mackinac, Mackinac does not allow motor vehicles. So there's only horses and bicycles. And so there's a lot of stuff from horses. And it does have an interesting smell for a little while, but you get used to it. It's that and fudge. It smells like both. Hey, listen, going to give you a quick look at the weather forecast around the country. We picked 5 cities that we think you should know about. Seattle, high today, 78. It's going to be cloudy and sunny, which that's pretty much like saying Seattle all the time. Dallas, now listen, Dallas, if you're in Dallas right now, there's a chance of some weather coming through, a little bit of storms, but today going to warm up all the way to 94 and mostly sunny skies this afternoon. By the way, 94 by 5 o'clock there, but they are saying watch for the storms this morning. So, and you know, a place that you would think would be warm, but in my opinion, not super warm today. Atlanta, they're going to have intermittent clouds. They are also dealing same thing with some weather that rolled through the last couple of days. 87 for a high today in Atlanta. Denver, who would have thunk? Denver going to be the hottest of our 5 today. Denver, 98 degrees this afternoon under mostly sunny skies. A little bit of cloud cover, they're saying, in Denver. And our final spot, one of my favorite cities, top 10. Okay. Top 10 favorite cities. Chicago, going to be a beautiful day in Chicago. 81 for a high today. Mostly sunny skies. Going to be gorgeous. They are looking at good weather today. Dallas, like I said, make sure you check for the storms. And then it's going to be pretty hot in the afternoon with the humidity. Stay hydrated. Of course, the folks at the Weather Center say. And Denver gets the heat advisory alert today. How cool for them? Chicago, in my opinion, if I'm doing this, by the way, if I'm doing, by the way, that's the 5 weathers around the country that we think you should know. That is a joke. It's not going to be called that, but we do on the show. My wife and I do. We do 5 things we think you should know. But no, it's weather around the country here on the morning break. Um, Chicago at 81, that is a pretty nice. If you've been to Chicago this time of year, and I have been very blessed to get to do that. By the way, I should give a plug for our weather here in Toledo. Toledo today, looking for some decent weather, though it's been strange. Last night we had uh, thunder and lightning. And it's cloudy right now. High today, they're saying 88 degrees in Toledo. That is it. Mud Hands. I haven't been. You know what? We're going to talk sports for a quick second here, but I have not been to a Mud Hens game. And I thought that would be something I would have done by now. It is not. Probably going to be on my bucket list for next year because my wife and I are crazy busy through the rest of this month and into September. So, yeah, probably not happening. But maybe next year we'll get to go to a Mud Hens game. By the way, I want to thank the folks again at 7 Weeks Coffee. They've done a great job for us. 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10, and we want to thank them. They are part of the morning break and part of the coffee on the morning break. Hey, did you see this? If you like football, you can Google this and go look at it. But Patrick Mahomes dunked a football on Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, they're of course doing preseason right now, preseason and kind of the uh, practices and stuff like that. And he dunked on him. It's a very cool video. You should go check it out. It shows you legitimately. I mean, they were the runner up last year, but the chemistry in Kansas City is always spot on. Good team. They play my home team, the Seattle Seahawks, this week. Should be an interesting game. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes is going to play or not. I would think that he is going to. I was listening to a national sports guy yesterday. He talked about Andy Reid, and he said, Andy Reid is old school. They still practice hard, where a lot of these different teams have kind of gone to that new, less stressful, camp. And I don't know. Maybe could that be one of the reasons why Andy Reid's team is doing incredible every year? I would say it could very well be. Um, I don't know though. Of course, you also have Patrick Mahomes, which Well, I want a quick exercise for all of you that like football. You put Patrick Mahomes on another team, is he as good? I think there are certain coaches he would have been that good with, like the Harbaughs, either one of them. I think he would have been as good. I just think if he'd gone to someplace, and again, not throwing any shade, but gone to Chicago, which again, I've said I love the city. Football team's terrible. But if what if he'd gone there? And you think about life that way. You think about the choices that are made. And for Patrick Mahomes, of course, he was drafted, so he didn't have a choice where he was going. But so much of our life is what choices we make and we're, what we do. Another thing I heard today, and of course I'm a football guy, and I heard Nick Saban say this. And he isn't the first, but he said it today in a video I was watching. He was talking, he does motivational things, and he was talking about excellence. And I think that's the biggest takeaway I've had over these last few months of my life is it's great to be really, really doing a lot of things, but if you're not excellent at any of them, it it doesn't matter. And so this is just me being honest. This is going to be a big part of what we're doing here on the morning break is just being really honest with each other, kind of taking that moment to really think things through. Yeah, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna talk about the weather. We're gonna talk about sports a lot because I do. We're gonna talk about my life. We're gonna talk about coffee. We're gonna talk about food, which we haven't talked about food today, but we're gonna talk about those kinds of things. And we're gonna talk about news. Like, is it bothering you that those uh, that they're setting up holiday stuff? Um, but here's the thing with excellence, and it's one of the things that I'm learning right now, and I'm having to go through because I love to do a lot of things. My wife and I talked about this last night that we have a lot of things going on. And over the last really since 4th of July, the reason why 4th of July I came home from a family vacation on the 4th of July. And since that point, and some things happen, some personal things happen for me in business. But since that point, I've realized I can't do everything and I can't be everything to everybody. And that's tough because I want to be and I want to say yes to everybody. So if you had an idea and you needed my help, I'd be like, yeah, let's do this. Reality is that doesn't always make sense, at least not for me. And that causes, honestly, that causes me to then not be excellent. When I do too much or when I'm trying to do, you know, 80 different things, I'm not excellent at any of them at that point. I mean, I can't be. You can't be. You can't be excellent. I can't be excellent at doing the show if I'm doing 15, 25, 30, 40 other things. Now, I will tell you something on this though. I think you can be excellent if it falls in and I just bumped my desk. If it falls in the same spectrum. So like doing the show is part of what I do every day in working in television. And so this is not like a outside. Now, the part for me and that the part that you and I all experience today is I'm still really learning what I'm doing. And that's okay. It's okay to still be learning. It's okay to, not always do it right. And today was humbling for me. Um, Thankfully we can delete those videos. But it was kind of humbling. I kind of went, you know, you think but you don't. And for me, excellence comes in the fact that I want to have things change out like over here and maybe some stuff on the other side that you don't see anything, over on this side and or down below. And I look at all that stuff and it just takes time and I'm working on it and I'm working on learning all of this stuff because it's not that the program is really new. It is new to me in this form, But surprisingly, this is exactly what I used when I started in television. A very close example to this that we used for TV. So it's not totally bad. But anyway, so that's it. Work on excellence and really I think for all of us, I think if we strive for excellence, we see such different blessings in our life. And we realize how thankful we should be. Last story for today, and then I got to get out of here. Your break's over. Mine is too. Um, is an interesting study quarter to quarter, this last quarter, about fast food restaurants. Almost every fast food restaurant posted losses, while fast casual restaurants, kind of like Chili's and those places like that, Red Robin, and that style of restaurant grew. There's a lot of reasons why, and I so I was thinking of this this morning. It has been more than a minute. It has been 2 years since I've been to a McDonald's that I can remember. I tried to think. I may have gotten a coffee at a McDonald's, but I don't count that. That doesn't count. I mean, like eat at a McDonald's. I think it's been like 2 years. It was expensive. Like literally, I remember saying it is. It's over 2 years. It's 2.5 years ago. Wow. Um, I remember thinking this cost me as much as if I went to a Red Robin, and it's not as good. And it was not a McDonald's, just so you know. I'm not going to throw shade on who it was, but it wasn't as good. And so I think you're seeing people go, "Hey, listen, I can go to Chili's, not sponsored, and go for I think they have a 9.99 meal now. Well, goodness, you can't get out of McDonald's for that." And I'm sorry, again, that's just my comparison thing. So you can come at me if you want and say, I love McDonald's. And I do. I grew up on McDonald's. Come on, man. That was part of it. If I was good, one of the rewards was to get to go on the playground. Now, if you know me, you know I didn't really like to eat, so that wasn't it. But it was to get to go play on the playground. Yeah, now I love to eat. So I made up for all those years when I was not eating at all. But no, just as to me, one of those kind of interesting things. And if you have a reason or what you think, you can always drop us a comment. And we'd love to hear from you. And we would. And this is gonna grow. Like I said, no show tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be doing a show on Friday. Friday's kind of a crazy busy day usually for me. So I don't know. But if not, I'll be back Monday and we can do this all again because hey, you know what? Every day, it doesn't matter what day it is. It may be the weekend. Okay, hold on. Work days. We're going to change this. Every work day, you need to take a break. And I'd love for you to do that with